So Katie, remember when you first got into leadership? Did you feel like you really knew what you were doing? I know I really struggled with that.
Yeah, I felt a lot of confused about where I should spend my time and how I should rearrange my priorities and how should I balance my team with my personal business, because as you know, when you have leadership, it's almost like having two really great businesses.
Absolutely.
And to be fair to yourself, what I learned was a process called finding your leadership circle.
Ooh.
So I want you to think of kind of a ripple effect of a core that kind of goes out, but we always want to be centered in the core. And at the core of that and the center is our vision and our why. So what motivates us, what drives us, and the greatest part about our why is that it changes and it evolves, and it's meant to do that because it always brings us back to why we're doing what we're doing. Also makes hearing the word no a lot easier, right?
For sure.
And I think when you have that foundation, you can next focus on your personal business, because that should be a great bulk of our time, not only to model it to new leaders, but also because that's the engine that drives our business.
Yeah, I love that. That's great.
Next, I really found spending time with my newest consultants, preparing them for a strong start, helping them with the tools that they needed and directing them to resources was a valuable way to spend my time with them, and kind of like a supported autonomy. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Next, I found that emerging leaders really needed a little bit more of my time, not only because they're learning this process of finding their center, but they're also trying to teach it and duplicate it to others. Next, the next ripple would definitely be supporting leaders. So on our team, we have senior leaders and junior leaders, and we really support them in a number of different ways, mostly on learning style and what works for our team. And lastly, what I think is really important, kind of on the outside of our leadership center, is our casual consultants. I always think of them as like the most important free throw points on a team,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
They like
So
win the
many
game.
of them.
And I found that in this center of leadership, that relationships really held it together. And if I found I was spending the bulk of my time in one of these outside circles, and I really felt like I lost touch base with maybe my personal business or maybe working with new consultants, that getting back to my vision and my why was that motivating force to kind of propel me to center myself.
I love it. So basically, if you kind of get lost in one of these outside circles, you just bring it back to the center. I love it.
Yeah. It helped me manage my time, and it was a really great way to be fair to myself as a leader.
Right.
And to model it for new consultants.
Yeah, it's fantastic. How did you find that it helped you with that?
I found that when I lost my focus and I really got back to my why and my vision for my team, it really became easy to start managing my time and blocking out at what I felt was most important. So I really then go back to my personal business. Don't you feel as a leader sometime we get caught up in all the fun stuff? And so I would put those as my biggest priorities of the day. And then I would maybe carve out a time where I knew my newest consultants could reach me, and then I would go from there.
Thanks for sharing. I love it.
You're welcome.